Hello guys, how's it going? Imagine you're in a place, in a house, or in your workplace. The paths go. The trees and flowers around you captures your attention and brightens up your day. You're eating a delicious meal and drinking your refreshing water. Want to go outside and buy groceries? It's raining. You're wondering, how did this happen? Because of the water cycle. The hydrologic cycle is a sequence of events where water passes through the atmosphere to the land or water surfaces, then goes on to the atmosphere, and so on and so forth. The hydrologic cycle involves some common processes. First is evaporation. Evaporation is where the water is first converted from liquid to the gaseous stable matter to the heat exposure from the sunlight. In that way, water was transported from the surface to the atmosphere. You can see the process on some spring or any bodies of water, where the water releases a steam-like gas or a mist. The way evaporation works is that the water from the oceans, for example, gets absorbed in the sunlight and turns it into water vapor, making the water levels decreases. Evaporation affects the humidity of a specific area, making hot areas like tropical islands more humid. Evaporated water also helps the cloud formation, making it helpful for the precipitation process. Air pressure also contributes to the process. If the air pressure is high, the water won't evaporate easily. Temperature also helps. If the water is boiling hot, the water evaporates as steam. People who can cook should be aware of this. Evapotranspiration is a different story. This process takes on plants where water from the plant transpiration during photosynthesis was being converted to water vapor through the process of evaporation. Next is condensation. Condensation is a process where the water vapor from the atmosphere was converted back to liquid water. This occurs when the warm air in the atmosphere rises, cools, and loses the cloud's capacity to hold water. Are you drinking soft drinks, especially those in cans? Have you noticed why there are water droplets around? It is because of condensation. Due to the cold air, for this situation, cold air from a fridge, the surface around it will form water droplets. Hence, the same thing happens on clouds. When the air cools, the water vapor turns into liquid water, making it capable to hold as much water as possible. What happens when you can't hold yourself and you want to go to the restroom? Next on the hydrologic cycle process is the precipitation. Precipitation is the process where the water that was transported by the clouds is being delivered to the Earth's surface in the form of rain, snow, or hail. Here in the Philippines, a country that was located near to the equator, we experience rain numerous times. But because of the climate change, there are some cases that Philippines was experiencing hailstorm as well. To expand this process, precipitation forms when water vapor from clouds condenses into a bigger water droplets, heavy enough to fall to the Earth's surface. When the clouds are colder, especially on higher altitudes, they'll drop ice crystals instead of raindrops. Smoke and dust particles also help this process. These provide surfaces for the water vapor to condense. It is very evident when the bottom part of the clouds darkens. Precipitated water are always fresh water even though some of its source are salt water. It is because the salt water doesn't evaporate. Precipitated water combined with pollutants makes it acid rain. Acid rain doesn't harm humans, but it causes the waters more acidic. Interception is a new one for me. Interception is a part where the precipitated water were being intercepted and evaporated instead. The vegetation and the man-made structures really affect this process, since those structures hinders the process of infiltration and runoff waters being prevented to enter the groundwater storage. The last ones were infiltration and percolation. Two different processes but they function the same. Infiltration where the water from precipitation was penetrated to the soil or rock surface, whereas percolation happens when the water flows through the soil. The level of infiltration or percolation depends on the soil's permeability or the soil's ability to control water movement. The hydrologic cycle gives importance on designing water resource systems because it really depends on the hydrologic data, a data of rate of precipitation or collected rainwater tallied from time to time. so that in terms of designing structures like canals, dams, or etc., we can identify the total area of the structure that can hold a specific rate of precipitation. Yes, we can ignore the stuff. We are based on mostly on precipitation. Before I forget, this hydrologic data is influenced. That will be all for today. I hope you will like my video presentation.
I have several questions.
Thanks for watching and have a nice day.
Make a fine addition to my collection.